As the Director of Communications resigns in just 3 months, Meghan Markle's leadership style causes concern. The high rate of employee turnover for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle raises concerns about their leadership. After only 3 months of employment with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, one of Markle's most recent hires has already left. The former employee is one of many communications workers that have been hired to work for the Sussexes in various roles but have left soon after. The Director of Communications for Meghan Markle has given up. As their Director of Communications, Emily Robinson quit Netflix in June and joined Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's staff. It has been verified, though, that she has switched teams. Prior to this, Robinson worked on The Crown, which drew criticism for portraying contentious stories about the royal family, but the Sussexes appeared unconcerned. One of Robinson's best friends, who resides in Los Angeles, shed light on the cause of her resignation, implying that the royal couple ran a harmful work environment. She made the choice. Things must have been really bad for her to leave a few weeks ago since she is not a quitter, the Daily Mail was informed by the source. Emily Robinson's departure is discussed by Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. Following her brief time working with Markle and Harry, Robinson's LinkedIn profile strangely made no mention of her previous experience with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. However, it mentions additional positions she has held in the past. The cause of Robinson's abrupt departure is unknown, but People magazine reported that a spokeswoman for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex stated that the explanation was that during her tenure with them, the publicist excelled. Ms. Robinson supervised project-based employment for a very successful season of With Love, Meghan, and further assistance for the production firm. The spokesperson stated, "She did an outstanding job and finished these tasks with great success." In addition to Robinson, Deputy Press Secretary Kyle Bullia and UK Press Officer Charlie Gibson also resigned from their positions on Markle and Harry's staff after just 1 year. As a result, there have been several eyebrow throws over the couple's leadership approach. Another member of Prince Harry's team has recently departed. Prince Harry has lost another key member of his team more than a month after learning about Robinson's resignation. The blast published in early September that Travelist, the Prince's environmental travel charity, had lost its CEO, Sally Davy, who had been with the organization for 5 years. According to an insider, Davy's resignation was a huge blow and a shock to the firm since she had been instrumental in its success over the years. Regarding her choice to leave Travelist, Davy said she had reached a point in my journey where I know I need to give more time for myself and my family. Additionally, she expressed gratitude to Prince Harry for backing her choice to resign from her executive position and spoke favorably of him. Davy spoke of the Duke as a confidant and guide, and she was proud of what she had created with him and the rest of the group throughout her tenure at Travelist. Additionally, more members of Prince Harry's crew have left. The resignation of Travelist's chairman, which was made public earlier this year, was followed by Davy's departure from the company. In addition to the chairman, Josh Kettler, Harry's chief of staff, quit from his position at the firm last summer after only 3 months on the job. Kettler maintains that his experience working with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex was positive, despite concerns about their leadership style due to the high rate of employee turnover. He mentioned that the pair gave him a kind greeting and lauded their commitment to their profession, which he described as impressive to witness. Prince Harry's group and Chad just ended their 15-year connection. Prince Harry also appears to be losing ties and networks on a wider scale, in addition to staff turnover. The Blast reported earlier this month that Chad terminated its alliance with the non-profit African Parks, which has links to Prince Harry. Before ending the relationship due to a lack of funding, African Parks had overseen the Greater Zakuma ecosystem and the Enedi Natural and Cultural Reserve for 15 years. Insufficient funding and insufficient efforts to safeguard the reserves. Prince Harry was the president of African Parks for 6 years after joining in 2016. He is currently a board member of the group. According to a royal expert, working for Meghan must be mayhem. It's no surprise that the 10th spin chief has resigned. She should keep out of the spotlight, but she can't. Following her work on the contentious royal drama The Crown on Netflix, Ms. Robinson was poached. Since leaving the firm in 2020 to live their new self-funded lives in California, Harry and Meghan are thought to have hired at least 10 PR managers. After working on the streaming service's contentious royal series, the Duchess of Sussex stole Ms. Robinson from Netflix. The Crown. Previously, she oversaw the promotion of episodes that featured Harry in Nazi fancy dress and sympathetic plots about Mohammed Al-Fayed. However, the Sussexes' most recent director of communications chose to jump ship a few weeks ago, according to her friends. Royal biographer Ingrid Seward, who considers working for the pair to be chaotic, was not surprised by her choice to quit. The editor-in-chief of Majesty magazine informed The Sun that working for the Sussexes must be rather chaotic. They have lost so many employees. The thing isn't that the workers remain for a set period of time, rather, they appear to make extremely brief appearances before departing. It's clear that the task they are anticipated to do is not the task they had in mind. Additionally, it seems to me that Meghan is at odds with what they thought the Sussexes should be doing. They definitely make some significant PR mistakes since Meghan seems to want to be in charge of everything. Meg's journey to Paris Fashion Week earlier this month, which caused a lot of discussion among royal commentators, was brought up by Ingrid. The Duchess shared a video of herself driving through the French capital with her legs up in the back of a cab throughout her visit. The piece sparked debate, with several people noting that Meghan had followed a similar course to Princess Diana on the night of her tragic death. The most recent one I can remember was when Meghan went to Paris Fashion Week and filmed herself driving around Paris, Ingrid added. Thus, everyone naturally said, "Oh, she's taking the same course as Diana." Well, it's possible that she was, or that she wasn't, but how utterly idiotic. The timing couldn't have been worse. Her PR team would have certainly warned her against posting all of these posts. And if posts are to be posted, they should be done by the PR folks themselves, not Meghan. Ms. Robinson was not a quitter, according to sources close to her, and she must have had a pretty horrible experience for her to have left. It was her choice, they told the Daily Mail. She departed several weeks ago. Things must have been really bad for her to leave since she's not one to give up. Furthermore, Meghan's unwillingness to stay out of the public eye, according to Ingrid, contributed to her PR manager's resignation. Because she is the big boss, Meghan's character must be the source of it, she said. I'm attempting to figure out why she would be so difficult to deal with. She meddles, she sends the incorrect message. I think they need to keep things quiet. Not all public relations activities focus on attracting the public. People are kept out of the news via some of the greatest PR. In my opinion, they should avoid the news, stop accepting humanitarian accolades that no one truly understands the purpose of. They should simply attempt to live the life they claimed they desired, which was one that was more secluded. After accusing them for a number of PR humiliations, Meghan and Harry ruthlessly sacked a number of important assistants, as The Sun reported in June. The rebranding of her American Riviera Orchard food brand to As Ever was characterized by specialists in February as chaotic. Reviewers in the UK and the US then criticized her 6-part Netflix cookery program. Even worse, Meghan's podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder, lost popularity in a hurry. Furthermore, in a possible violation of the 2020 Megxit deal made with the deceased Queen, she was discovered referring to herself as Her Royal Highness. What insiders call the purge saw the Sussexes dismiss 2 directors of communications in retaliation. Kyle Bullia of California accompanied Charlie Gibson of the United Kingdom. A few days prior, Disha Tank had quit her position at the couple's Archewell Foundation, which she had held for 3 years. The head of content for Meghan's Instagram account, however, also departed at the same time. Then they brought in Hard Method Communications, who described themselves as disruptors who challenged the status quo. One of their first actions, according to reports, was posting a video of Meghan, who was obviously pregnant, dancing in a maternity ward. Meg's attempt to induce Lilibet's birth in the cringe-inducing video received 42 million views despite being widely criticized. Another crew reshuffle occurs for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, with 4 team members leaving in a matter of weeks. It has been said that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have bid farewell to 4 more employees. Kyle Bullia, who was the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's LA-based deputy press secretary, and Charlie Gibson, their UK press officer, have both left the company. Hello. Stated on Friday, June 13, about the couple's personal staff. In addition, sources told the media that in the previous few weeks, at least 2 other members of Markle and Harry's staff have quit. The most recent shakeup follows the previous one. Earlier this year, the pair was accused of hypocrisy for employing a new Royal Court of Employees, including Meredith Kendall-Mains, formerly, to fix their damaged public image. With Google, Hulu, and American Idol as their first chief communications officer to head the crew. Additionally, Emily Robinson, who was in charge of public relations, was just hired. Mains spoke about the team changes, describing them as a strategic decision made for Netflix's The Crown, which is on the roster to become the new director of communications. I have made the calculated choice to transition to a more conventional communications structure as the Duke and Duchess's commercial and humanitarian interests develop. As previously reported in Forbes and PR Week weeks ago, she said in a statement to the Post that she has professional agency support. Moving from a team of 2 to an agency support team of 8, working over 5 different time zones, will provide international media and stakeholders. Mains stated that better access and, crucially, faster response times to inquiries are necessary. With the royal rebels losing 2 essential workers in 2024, it seems that Markle and Harry's crew are falling like flies. Ashley Hansen, their head of communications and global press secretary, informed the world in October 2024 that she was leaving to launch her own public relations firm. Josh Kettler, their chief of staff, departed from his position in 2024 following a brief 3-month trial period. Nevertheless, the Post learned that Kettler was employed on a trial basis and that his quick exit was mutual because all parties agreed that he was not a good fit for the position. Something tells me there will be another change in the future. The insider told Hello, adding that Meghan and Harry have hired some of the most amazing individuals in their fields, but for some reason, none of them ever succeed. Mains was contacted by the Post for a response. The most recent staff news follows repeated criticism of the two, including Prince Harry's bombshell interview following his unsuccessful appeal to protect him, Markle, and their children, Prince Archie, 6, and Princess Lilibet, 4, with taxpayer-funded UK security. In an interview with the BBC, Harry stated that he would love a reconciliation with his British family, but that his father, King Charles III, who is now the ruler of the United Kingdom, won't speak to him as he fights cancer. In May, he told the publication, "I've had so many disputes with some members of my family. I would like to be reconciled with my family. Life is precious, and there's no use in continuing to fight," he shared. Markle has experienced constant criticism for her lifestyle brand, As Ever, which she initially called American Riviera Orchard. Due to trademark concerns, the former star of Suits was compelled to alter her moniker. The brand, which currently includes jams, teas, shortbread cookie mix, flour sprinkles, and more, is now said to be expanding into the hotel and restaurant sectors. Additionally, Markle was criticized for posting the film of her delivery room dance, which was shot in 2021, just before Lilibet was born. Many people called the video cringe, in celebration of her youngest child's 4th birthday, which occurred earlier this month. But a Daily Mail insider said, Meghan is really happy with the video, indicating that Prince Harry's wife isn't concerned about the criticism of the Labour dance. The reaction has been somewhat conservative in the UK, but it has been a tremendous hit elsewhere, notably in America and particularly among young people. An insider claims that Meghan Markle's staff continues to leave because of her unbearable attitude. Actually, according to News Nation, 18 employees have abandoned Meghan and Harry throughout their relationship. Additionally, one insider claims that Meghan's condescending demeanor is the primary reason for the high turnover rate. It's Meghan. According to a source speaking to the outlet, she's intolerable. She treats others with disdain and condescension. Rumors of Meghan's rudeness towards staff began after her marriage to Prince Harry. According to contractors who performed at the event, they were treated unfairly. They even made a promise that they would never again collaborate with Meghan. Ex-Meghan staffers share their experiences. Being asked to speak at the wedding was a tremendous honor. One photographer informed the Daily Beast, "I had to go to Kensington Palace and lay out a number of mood boards in what was then their office. Finally, Meghan entered, glanced at what I had prepared, and said no in the rudest way imaginable before turning on her heels and leaving, and strolled away. I was crying uncontrollably. It was awful." The florist, who claims to have been monstered by Meghan, has vowed that, despite the honor of receiving such a commission, he will never again accept a call from the Duchess of Sussex. She's acting as if she was born into the manor. However, those who are genuinely from the manor do not treat their employees in this manner, according to one source. Some have defended the Sussexes by noting that many employees have been with them for a number of years. They point out that several UK workers have moved to the US with Harry and Meghan, and that there has been significant turnover among Kate Middleton and Prince William's personnel as well. Harry and Meghan will always have a large following. However, from a public relations perspective, the couple has had a difficult year. Is the Duchess hard to deal with? Amid claims that she operates a dictator in heels, 6 essential Archewell Foundation workers have resigned, sparking a new staff meltdown for Meghan Markle. Meghan has been accused by critics of creating a demanding atmosphere. According to one former employee, who spoke to The Hollywood Reporter, her employees live in dread of her because she treats them badly and ignores their advice. The story that depicted a demanding Duchess of Sussex is brought back to life by this assertion. Based on these reports, workplace analysts warn that high turnover rates can negatively affect employee morale and non-profit impact. The allegations have not been refuted or confirmed by Meghan and Prince Harry. A source within the organization, however, claims that Meghan is attempting to minimize the disruption by presenting the departures as a deliberate move toward an agency-led support model. This method resembles how past personnel changes were handled. The couple could avoid legal risk while attempting to reassure important parties by refraining from responding to the criticism in public. In addition, Meghan and Harry broke a long-standing social media rule by posting revealing pictures of their children, Archie and Lily, on Father's Day, which drew even more attention. According to certain observers, the action suggests an attempt to maintain public control over the narrative, even as internal disagreements continue behind the scenes. The online response was split, with some applauding the openness and others calling it a public relations ruse in the wake of the fallout. High-profile resignations, according to experts, can harm a company's reputation and fundraising initiatives. The importance of effective internal communication and conflict resolution is emphasized by heads of nonprofits. The long-term effects of Archewell's community, media, and humanitarian initiatives may be negatively impacted if the company is unable to maintain a stable workforce. Former insiders, however, caution that non-disclosure agreements may not prevent harmful disclosures. Following unexpected personnel changes, transparency is critical, according to experts in workplace culture. According to a nonprofit governance specialist, massive turnover is frequently a sign of ineffective leadership and subpar internal procedures. According to a mental health expert, employees who are under constant pressure may suffer burnout and anxiety, making it more difficult to retain talent. The Sussexes Foundation is under close inspection due to increasing charges of a poisonous workplace culture and 6 consecutive departures, especially as they attempt to uphold a favorable public perception and steady internal operations. The departure of Markle's team due to intense pressure and hard demands. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have witnessed yet another employee resign from their organization Centibale, and they are not the first prominent figure to do so. Worked for the Sussexes before moving on fast. Following their dramatic departure from their royal responsibilities and relocation to the United States in search of a new life, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were immediately surrounded by a new group of people. However, as the couple moves forward with their philanthropic and production endeavors outside the firm, they quickly establish a reputation for being unable to keep staff. The total number of employees who have left Harry's charity, Centabale, is now 21, since 3 of its top leaders resigned in recent weeks. In a significant setback, the London-based CEO of the organization that Harry established in 2006 with Prince Seeso of Lesotho resigned after 5 years. Is not scheduled to be replaced and has been in the job for a number of years. The Daily Mail, however, reports that Richard Miller, 62, will be replaced by an interim executive director, Carmel Gallard, who has been given the responsibility of based in Johannesburg and finishing a strategic transformation of Centabale. The announcement comes just a few months after the news that Harry's chief of staff had quit after only 3 months in the position. Prior to the Sussexes' trip to Nigeria, Josh Kettler, a well-known public relations professional, assumed the top position in May and started working alongside Harry. Just as Harry and Meghan were getting ready for their business trip to Colombia in August, he left. Mr. Kettler's hiring on a trial basis and the mutual decision to separate ways, with both parties concurring that it was not the right fit, are well known. The departure of these individuals is not the sole staff loss in recent years.